REMARKETER, empowering realtors.
Good morning, and thank you very much for joining me today. Our session today is not going to be a long one. It's going to be a short and sweet one, but it's been a topic that I've realized that could definitely benefit a lot of you guys out there who are active in putting together different campaigns and different events. I'll show you a few tricks and some maybe a little bit more technical configurations in building landing pages that are effective and a lot better connected to your CRM for you to be able to fully implement a strategy and take be able to benefit the most from the campaigns and the events that you're launching. Now, um, usually, whenever you're launching an ad campaign, a marketing campaign, you're hosting an event, there's means of registration where you would have people, the attendants, the uh, visitors, the viewers, etc., to register and receive some sort of a reward, a benefit, a follow up, etc. And therefore, this way, you're going to be able to generate leads in that event of yours. That's usually the most important objective of any campaign. I'll give you a few examples. So let's say, for example, you're hosting an event um, in a bank or in a community center or any other occasion pretty much where you are introducing yourself and your services to the people who come and talk to you and visit your booth or your establishment, whatever it is in the event. For that purpose, you might have a primitive approach of just having a piece of paper available for people to register. But obviously, the better approach would for you to be able to have a dedicated landing page uh, for people to register and uh, having that registration platform connected directly to your CRM so you can take action much faster than otherwise. And a lot of you have done that, and I've seen a lot of you guys building landing pages for the events that you're hosting and having that available on a tablet or a laptop where people can come and register using that. So that's one example. Another example is when you're sending out flyers, for example, and you have a call to action on the flyer for people who are interested in a certain service or an incentive that you might be promoting on that flyer campaign to register. So you could easily have a landing page designed and mentioned on the flyer so that people who are interested can quickly go there and register. And therefore, you're going to be able to take the next steps. So the best way to do that is rather than asking people to send you an email or asking people to contact you on social media, for instance, to have a proper landing page designed for that campaign, so that you'd be able to capture those leads more effectively and efficiently. Thirdly, any online campaign. So if you're running an ad on Facebook or on other social media campaigns or even a Google ad, you might want to have the proper gateway configured, and that usually is a landing page. So, a lot of you have already done this and have uh, uh, worked with building landing pages for your campaigns, whether they're online or offline. What I'd like to do today is to give you a few tips so that you can make that, take that even further and make that initiative a lot more effective for you in terms of CRM integration, so that you're going to be able to be a lot more effective in your CRM initiatives. All right, so let's go ahead and check out what we can do today. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to build a quick landing page. Uh, 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 I'm going to be focusing on the simplest format of a landing page, which is focused around a registration form. So that's what we're going to be able to, what I'm going to be showing you today. And then I'll show you some of the more advanced configurations around that that's going to help you do a lot more with your landing pages. So if you want to create a custom landing page, which is dedicated to a certain event or a campaign, what you'd want to be doing is to go to website design, and from here you can select custom pages. So this is where we can create any sort of a custom page. Now, a landing page can be a single use landing page. So you might have an event and you create a landing page, and when the event is over and you don't need it anymore, you can go ahead and delete it, or you can repurpose the landing page as well. So you might create a landing page and keep it around so that you could repurpose it every time you need to use it for a similar event or a campaign. So the landing pages that you build, the custom pages that you build, are all going to be available for your future use as well. If you don't need them anymore, you can certainly go ahead and delete them. Another function that you have here is a clone. So you can keep the landing page, but you want to make a similar landing page that's just a little different. So you want to kind of repurpose the landing page without changing the main landing page. You can also clone the landing page, so you can create a similar copy of the landing page, and then you can go ahead and make the edits that you wish to make to that cloned copy of the landing page. So you have these options over here as well. So for every landing page that you build, there is a link. This link is going to be the URL. It's going to be added to the end of your domain name, and it will create a URL for accessing that landing page specifically. So, for example, if you're running an online ad and you want to have the ad point to this landing page, this is where you're going to be able to get the link from. So I'll give you an example. If I go to the website, so this is our uh, URL right now. So demo.remarketer.ca. So your website's got its own domain. If I add this to the end of it, so basically I'm just going to copy um, this link over here. If I just simply add that to the end of the URL, you can see that I've added it to the end of the URL right here, uh, and press enter. That's where the landing page is going to be, and that's the URL to my landing page. Another way to get to this URL, obviously, is the easy way. You just click on Actions and select View, and it opens the landing page for you. Here it is. This is the URL for the landing page, which you could use for your ad campaign or marketing campaign, so that people can come to this registration form to this landing page to do whatever it is that you require them to do. In the case of today's session, register. All right. So let's go ahead and click on Add New to create a new uh, custom page. In our case today, a landing page. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with creating custom pages, I'll just quickly give you the basics. We do have other videos that you can find that in which I get a lot in depth, talking about all the different features and functions that we have available for um, for creating pretty sophisticated custom pages. But I'll show you um, the basics nevertheless, so you know exactly how to build a landing page, well, a custom page. It's pretty simple. You have two sets of information here and the page settings at the top. I always suggest that you start from the page settings. This is the first thing that you want to have. It's got a title and it's got a page description. That's the minimum setting that you have to have, and it's mandatory, is obviously to have a page title. Based on that, the system is going to generate a page link, and you can also give it your own page link as well. So that's the link that I was just showing you. If I go back to the um, other tab here, this is the link that we were just talking about right here. So let's call this demo event. I'm just going to call it demo event. So first things first, I'm going to come in here and add a page title. Now, if it's a one-time use landing page. Let's say it's an event, it's going to be 2 days, and I'm going to use this landing page. And after that, I'm not going to need it anymore. And probably I'm just going to park it or delete it. I wouldn't worry about search engine optimization, right? And that's, where it would end. So pretty much at the end of the event. But if it's a custom page that you wish to keep around, especially if you want to add it to the structure of your website, and it is going to be a permanent part of your website, you can also take it a little bit further in terms of settings and customizations and, well, basically settings of the website, and add a page description as well, which is definitely going to um, help with the search engine optimization of this website. Another thing that's important for you to consider is the fact that you want it to be branded. Do you want it to include the title bar or not, as well as the page width, which we have two options here, a box and a full width. I'm going to show the effect of these settings after we make the landing page here, so that we can kind of see it together. Now, the last piece of configuration, the last piece of setting that we have here is a page featured photo. Now, the page featured photo is the thumbnail that's going to be used whenever you share that page onto, let's say, a social media, for example. So if you just copy the URL of the page and paste it in Facebook, and you want to share it in Facebook, or you want to share it in, another social media platform, that once you do, there's going to be a thumbnail loaded, as part of the post that's going to be created by sharing that link. If you want that thumbnail to be a specific picture, then you can add the URL of the picture as the page featured photo. So that's another little detail that's hidden right here, which a lot of you can use in order to create the best visual effect when sharing this custom page on social media. All right, so I put in a page title. That's the bare minimum that you have to add before you can actually save um, the page when you're done. Now, the second part that you need to understand is the grid system. So that's basically how we want to organize the different pieces of the content that I imagine to have on my page. So, for example, if I want to have one big title at the very top, all I need to do is to add a one column divider here to the top. Now, so this would indicate that whatever content or whatever element I place inside this placeholder now, this cell is going to be it's going to fill the entire width of the page because there's only one column in this part of the page here. So for example, if I add some text over here, this text is going to fill the entire width of my page because there's only one column. Now, in the next section, if I want to have a picture and some text side by side, for example, what I would do is that I would use this one, a two-column divider. So now I can have two sets of content side by side, two videos, two pictures, text and a picture, two text elements, etc. So, for example, here I can have a picture over here, and I can have a little bit of text on the side, for example. I can then go in and change each one of these to create my design. But basically, the first thing you got to do is to imagine the layout of the page. And this is how we're going to be doing it. So if I want to have, let's say, four logos side by side, I can use the four column divider to put them over here. Now, so you can understand how the system is going to look like by using these dividers. The only thing that you should consider is that you shouldn't put one divider inside another divider. So even though it might look fine, and even though the page will load and it will still show your content, it will not be the best in terms of the flexibility of the page, especially in mobile views. So my suggestion is that you should never do this, and you should play with the content within the structure that's available here. It's pretty flexible. It's a pretty diverse set of dividers that you have. So this one is also a two column, but the right column is a little bit bigger than the left column, etc., etc. So that's how we can pretty much configure the settings that we want to have, the structure and the layout of the page that we want to have. Finally, we have the HTML elements. So based on the subscription package that you have a set of these elements available that you can use to build a custom page. So for those of you who are a Lead Master subscriber, you have more advanced functions. So for example, you can have an MLS search added to the website, to the landing page. You can have pre-construction projects added to the website. You can have market statistics added to the landing page, etc. So there are a set of these elements available based on different subscription packages. But for the sake of what we are talking about today, everyone has access to the basic elements that we need, which are text, image, buttons, code, as well as a form. So those are the things that we're going to be using today. All right. Now, um, let's go ahead and start building the content here. So I'm imagining to have a little bit of a text at the top. Then I want to have a picture right here at the left. Then I have some more text to the right of that picture. And underneath that, let's say, let me go ahead and change this. I'm just going to use, let's say, this one instead. So I will have an image on the left, a smaller image, and then I will have some text on the side. And then underneath that, I'm going to have my registration form. So I'm going to drag and drop the registration form to this section here as well. So this is what I would like to have, and I'm going to configure all of these later on. Just dragging and dropping all the content that I want to have. Now, the other stuff that I need to add here, let's say I need to put in a few other images here as well. I'm just going to put in a few of these things. So let me remove that. I'm just going to add a 3-column divider here, and why not? Let's have 3 videos added here. Okay, so these are the stuff that I want to have here, and then I'm going to have let's say um, another set of content down here, which is going to be some more text with a uh, button in the middle. So here's what I'm going to do. If I want to have the button appear only in the middle, what I'll do is that I will use a 3-column divider and add the button to the middle section. I don't need to add any content to the other section as well. So I'm giving you a mix and match of different types of content that we want to add to this landing page. So far it's just my imagination. So that's what I'm imagining for this landing page to have. It's a pretty rich landing page with a lot of content. Is we've got the call to actions and stuff, which we're going to write right now. We've got a picture to make it look good. We've got our form and everything in here. And then we've got videos as well as some further call to action at the bottom, which I'm kind of imagining for this landing page. All right, so this is what we're going to be working with. Now let's create the content here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add, I'm going to edit this text at the top. So if you know what the text is going to say, go ahead and put it in. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use AI for creating the content over here. What I'm going to create here from the list that's available here is content for a landing page. So from the list up here, I select content for a landing page. Now I'm going to provide a description of the topic you wish to create, and then we're going to use AI, submit that to the AI to create that. So this just makes things easy. So I'm just going to say welcome and thank you for visiting my demo um, event. Please fill out the form below so that we can provide you with the latest market updates as discussed. The videos below are some client uh, testimonials you can find useful. So I'm just putting in the information that, well, basically the thoughts. And let's say I want to create 2 paragraphs of content here and submit. You can also set the tone here. I just kept it as professional. You have a whole list of different tones that you can imagine. So basically, it gave me um, the 2 paragraphs here. I just need to format it as I wish. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's make it centered and apply. So that's the first set of content. If you want to change anything, you can change it. And that's it. All right, next set of content is this one right here. I'm just going to say register here, for example. All right, I'm going to format this one, and this is going to be a heading. So I'm going to go with heading 2 and apply. So this is the title of my form right here. So far, easy. And then I'm going to select my picture here. So let's say this is the picture of, or let's say, for example, we have a winter event and I already have uploaded a picture here. You can also drag and drop any other pictures that you wish to use for your um, event as well. All right, so let me just do that. Let's say, what do I have over here? Let me just quickly find something that could be interesting here. I'm just going to get a picture of a building. Let's imagine this is the picture of the location where we've had the event, for example. Just something to fill up the empty space over here. All right, so I added my picture, so just a drag and drop and selected it. Uh, this is the URL, that's fine. Over here, you can configure the width of this picture. So the width basically tells you how much of the width of this cell should this picture fill. So right now it's 100%. So basically it will fill 100% of the cell's width here. If you change that, let's say to 50%, it will only take up 50% of the width of the cell right here. So basically you can configure that in here as well. So I'm just going to take it back to 100. Now, other than that, you can also add other content to it as well. You can add a title to the page, to the picture. So this is good for SEO purposes. If you want to keep this page hanging around, it's very well that you add a page title to the picture as well. So that's going to help your search engine optimization. If the picture is going to hold a link and people can click on it and go to a different page, for example, you can add the link to that page over here as well. So a full URL of where the target is going to be if people click on this picture. So that's there. And then if people do click on that picture, do you want the same page to load the new content, or do you want a new window to open and uh, basically create that? Uh, Now, this is also a direction of the image. So let's change this so I can show you. So let's say I'm going to make it 50%. Now the direction can say, for instance, do you want to keep it in the center, or do you want to keep it in the on the left or right? It doesn't show over here. Let's apply it. See, it goes to the right, or if you want to keep it in the center. So 50% to the center. So that, or responsive. So basically, it responses to the orientation of the screen, and it applies the best positioning for the picture based on the screen that the page is being viewed on. So these are also the settings over here. All right. Don't worry about the CSS class. So those are the internal classes over here. So that's for much more advanced programming if we want to configure that. So I'm going to take this back to 100% again, apply, and I'm just going to leave everything else to its default. So that's what we did with the image. All right. Now the form, and that's the most important part of our discussion today. Now, the first thing we're going to do when we're going to configure the form is that we will decide what elements on the form do we want to have. Usually the bare minimum that is required is an email, and that's why the email is not included in your options over here. So we would definitely want to have at least an email captured from the visitors of the landing page right here. So that's not an option to take it out, but you can also select other uh, fields of the form to be included or not. So let's say, for example, for the sake of this registration, I need to have a first name and a last name. So I want it to be visible and I want it to be required. Um, let's say I would also like to collect a phone number, but I don't want it to be mandated. So it's available. If someone wants to put in their phone number, they're welcome. Otherwise, it's not forced for them to add a phone number. If you want to force it, then you would have it as required. Let's say I don't need an address, I don't need a city, I don't need a postal code, I don't need a date of birth. A message is also possible, so they can also add in their message as well if they wish to do so, and it's not required. So that way, I can configure the form that I want to include over here. Now, this is not the only thing. The other thing that you would need to configure when you're configuring your form is the part of the integration with the CRM that I mentioned at the beginning um, of our session. So this is one of the objectives of this session. What we want to do is I want to be able to identify the people who register on using this landing page in this form right here. Let me just take you back quickly to the other tab that I have open over here. So we go to Contact Manager. So this is your contacts, right? So you have all your contacts available in your Contact Manager. And these contacts have either been added manually or they might have been imported from an external list that you may have. And also, they are they're added here whenever a form or any point of contact has been um, or maybe um, a lead form or etc. has been accessed on your website. So, they could be filling out a contact form and they would be added over here. They could be filling out an open house registration and they would be here. They could be filling out a listing alert. They would be here. They could be filling out a home valuation. They would be here. So there are all sorts of different things. A vow access if they want to see sold history and sold prices, for example, would require them to register on your website. So there are many different gateways on your website that they could have registered and they would be added to there. So if someone comes here, let's say wants to find out the home valuation, they can register over here and the contact information is going to be added to your contact manager. If they go to your contact and they fill out this form, they're going to be added to your contact manager. So as well as all the different landing pages that you might have built. So any form that's been filled out is going to be adding the contact information to your contact manager. So how would you know which one of these contacts are coming exactly from this page and this form? That's important for me to be able to distinguish so that I can take a look at these contacts and quickly be able to find the ones that have used this form to register so I can take the follow-up steps accordingly. So that's very important. You might have many of these landing pages available and many campaigns running at the same time and people might be registering using these different uh, landing pages. So you want to be able to distinguish who was the one who registered for home valuation, who was the one who came to my open house, who was the one who visited me on during this event that I'm running over here. So to do that, you need to make one final configuration to your form here as well, and that is a form tag name. What this does is that you can add a tag to your form. So whoever registers using this specific form on this specific landing page is going to be tagged accordingly. So for example, I've called this my demo event. I'm going to call the tag a demo event as well. All right. So this is going to be um, the tag I'm going to add to this. So it could be I don't know, the RBC event or, I don't know, home show booth, for example, or whatever. So that tag is going to tell you uh, immediately by looking at the contacts in your contact manager, who were the people who came here? And you can see them with the tags on the right-hand side right here. That tag can be searched and you can easily find the people who registered here so that, for example, you're going to be able to send out a follow-up email after the event, for example, or you want to provide that specific service that you promised them that you're going to do uh, by the way of finding them quickly using that tag. So this tag is going to help you identify the users that have used this landing page to register. So I'm going to apply the changes over here and I'm going to get on to the rest of the content here. So let's say I'm going to have three different videos here. Let me just get free random video links from YouTube. All you need to do is to just simply go to YouTube and uh, have the videos that you've created. So let's say video examples. All right, so I got different 3 videos. So I'll show you what it looks like. So basically, you load the video on YouTube. All right, so that's the video. What you would need to have is the URL of the YouTube. So I'm just going to copy the URL over here, and we're going to edit this, paste the video right here. So that's the YouTube URL. Again, you can set the width. I'm going to set it at 100%, and I'm going to apply. So that's my first video right there. Then I'm going to have my second video. Same thing. I'm just going to copy the YouTube URL and paste it right here. 100% for the width. And another one as well. These are just 3 random videos I just got off YouTube right now, but obviously you will have your own. Don't worry about how it looks over here. They will look properly when the page has been loaded uh, effectively. All right, so I have my content over here as well, and I'm gonna have one last piece right here too. Uh, let's say thinking of selling your house. Um, uh, use our um, instant home valuation tool here. All right. So this is going to be my final thing over here. I'm going to format this. I'm going to give it a heading 2, just like that. I'll make it centered, apply. So every change you make, please make the apply. And then I'm going to add a button right underneath. So I'm going to edit this. So this button is going to say instant home valuation, for example. All right. So what is the link? I'm going to go to my website. I'm going to go to my tools, home valuation. This is the URL. So I'm just going to copy this URL from the top of my page. And I'm going to go back here and paste the link in the link for the button. Then you can format the button. I like to use the block button. So it basically um, changes to a block, which fits the whole width. You can also change the size, for example. You can keep it as default or change it, or you can even style it. These are basically the warning or danger or link or outline, etc. So these are different styles. So for example, warning would be uh, yellow like that, or danger would be red like that. So let's apply that as my settings over here. So that would be a button to go out. Okay, things look good. I've come up with all my content here, and everything is ready. All I need to do is to click save. This generates the code for this landing page, and I will just save it again. Done. So I have now created a landing page that has a registration form with a tag that's going to be recorded whenever people register using this landing page. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So if I go back to my other tab right here, go back to website design and custom pages, my demo event is added right here. That's the title of my page, and it's ready to go. Let's load it. There it is. You might not be able to see it properly here, but it says demo event over here. So that's the title bar here. And we've got the whole page created, as you can see. So we've got the form, we've got the videos that can be played here, and we've got this button that takes them to the home valuation landing page. All right. Now, let's go ahead and register. I'm just going to say, all right, so let's call this uh, John Doe the third, because I have a lot of John Does in there. Uh, let's put in an email there. Uh, John Doe the third at uh, gmail.com, for example. I don't want to put in a phone number and put in no message. Let's say if they want to, if they want to agree to receive emails, etc. This is for spam protection, and they're going to submit the form. All right, so this has been successfully submitted. The form resets so the next person can register, so on and so forth. So if we go back here and look at my contact management, there it is. John Doe the third has been added here to the CRM. And you can also see that it's been tagged as demo event. So that's the important thing that we've been able to achieve. So all of the people who register using that landing page are going to have this demo event tag in here. And let's say, for example, if down the road I want to send out a newsletter to these people only, let's say I've created a newsletter just for these people, I can go ahead and email that. And here, I'm going to say demo event, and there it is. Those people would be available here in the list, and I can just select them all and send it to them. So that's important because you're going to be able to take the next step by just simply doing that. All right. Perfect. So this is it. Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you the other customized, well, configurations of the page as well. So let's just edit it again. All right. So the page settings here. Do you want it to be branded or not? Let's make it no and save it. What happens here right now, you see we've got your branding, the header of your website, your menu and everything are up here as well. So let's say you want to have a landing page. Sometimes it's best practice to have a landing page without the option of people to browse away from that landing page within your website. So if I just refresh that now I don't have the branding at the top anymore. So that's gone, and I only have the landing page that's just that. So this does not distract them from anything else. It's just specifically that, and it's good if you're registering for an event and you're loading this on a tablet and you want to have it available there. You don't want people to be clicking around and going to different places, and you don't want it to be cluttered as well. You just want it to be that specific page. All right, let's go ahead and change the page settings. I'm going to make it branded again. This time, I'm going to take away the title bar. So let's refresh this page again. It's now branded, but I don't have the title bar here. Maybe I have my own title within the content of the page, and I don't need a second title in the title bar as well. So I can just remove that if I don't want it. So that's the second one. Let's bring it back. Now we've got a full width here as well. I'm going to set that for you to see as well. So right now, it's boxed into the main section of the page. If I change that, it'll be a full width configuration. So for your purpose, if that looks better, you can certainly do that. Obviously, there are ways to configure the borders here now manually, which is going to take a little bit more time from you, but I'll just quickly show you how to do that as well. So let's say for this section, Let's take away the branding as well, just so that it's not page settings, branding, save. Save. Let's refresh that. Okay. So this part I like because it's now full width. I don't need it the borders there, but this part I don't like. I want to add some borders to it. So I can certainly do that. I can just um, edit this, and now I can go to the row settings and I can add margins here. So to the left, I'm going to add, let's say, 50 pixels. And to the right, I'm going to add another 50 pixels. Apply. Now I need to save changes. You see that now a border has been added to the two sides. I can refresh that. All right, now it looks a little bit better. All right, so this is that also how you can now manually change the width of every section separately. Otherwise, you can just keep it as boxed, so that it's boxed within the framework of the website, whatever that is. Just like that. Perfect. All right. So this is everything that I wanted to cover. Let me just quickly check out the questions if you have any questions. All right. So the first question is from Jeff. Good morning, Jeff. Thank you for being with us. So, how can a contact be deleted from the system to prevent the system from sending a birthday email out after deleting the contact? So, I mean, if you have deleted the contact, it's gone. It's not going to be used to send an email to anymore. There are several other options for you as well. Let me just quickly show you that. If we go to the contact manager, you can select the contact and you can unsubscribe the contact. So if you don't want to delete the contact, you can just simply unsubscribe the contact, so the email is not going to be sent out to them anymore. And yeah, also, if you remove the birth date, if that's not important for you and you don't want this person to receive birthdays automatically, you can just remove the birth date and then add it as a special occasion over here. So if you don't have the birth date here in the profile configurations, you can, and you just want to have it as an information about this contact, you can just add it under special occasions. So, these are a few things that you can certainly do to do that. Um, how can a custom page be linked to a Google Sheet? All right, so let me see if I understand your question properly. So you want to connect this to a Google Sheet. If you're talking about embedding a Google Sheet within the page, this is what we're going to be doing. So let's just do the same thing here. I'm just going to edit this. So let's say I want to add a Google Sheet and I want to embed it within my page right here. So what I would need to do is I would need to go to, not going to do it with the Google Sheet, but I'm going to do it with this. So let's just say remarketer, sorry, YouTube. I'm going to look for remarketer. All right, so here. So let's say I have a playlist and I would like to embed this playlist on my website. So it's the same thing if you want to do a Google Sheet as well. So I'm going to click on share and I would like to embed. So it's going to give me a code. So if you want to embed a Google Sheet within your landing page, you will do the same thing. You'll go to the share option and select embed for that. And it's going to give you a code. So I'm just going to copy the code. Then I'm going to go back to my custom pages here in this section that I have. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a code now. So you see the code element here. I'm going to add a code, edit this, and just simply paste the code that I got from there to this section right here. So this is going to embed the content that I want. It could be a Google Sheet. In this case, I embedded uh, a playlist from YouTube, for instance. So if I go back here and refresh this, I have the full um, playlist added in here as well with uh, embedding the content. All right. So I hope that answers your question. Um, Now you can also have external forms added here as well. You don't have to use the system form, but obviously the advantage of using the system form is that it's connected to your CRM. But if you want to have an external form as well, it's the same thing. You get the code for embedding the form, and then you use the code element over here to embed that content into your landing page. So that can definitely be done as well. Otherwise, if you just simply want to, have a button that goes to that link, it's the same as what we did over here. You take the URL of the form and you just add the URL of the form here, and you would have, the button format as such. All right. Great. So that's it. I hope this was informative for you. Um, as I said, landing pages are pretty common for you to attach to your campaigns and use for registration. But this way, you are able to configure it in a way that is properly connected to your CRM. It properly marks every person who registers using that specific landing page, and especially if you're running multiple campaigns at the same time, you're going to be able to classify and identify each one of the contacts that are coming through various gateways that you've created, so that you have a proper course of action to follow up with these people, to touch base with these people, and provide the services that you have discussed with each individual set of your leads properly. Great. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day and week. And I'll see you again, hopefully next week, with a different topic and a different session. Take care.